The Iberian lynx conservation success story reveals remarkable statistics from the world's most endangered cat species recovery. In 2002, only 94 Iberian lynx, known scientifically as Lynx Pardinus, remained on Earth, making it the most endangered cat species on the planet. Today, that number has exploded to 2,401 animals roaming the Mediterranean scrublands and dehiscent oak woodlands of Spain and Portugal. The Iberian lynx almost vanished because of one devastating weakness: its extreme dietary specialization. While most large predators maintain diverse diets, the Iberian lynx depends on rabbits for roughly 90% of its food. No other large predator in the world relies so heavily on a single prey species. A male lynx needs 1 rabbit per day to survive, while a female raising kittens consumes 3 daily. This evolutionary adaptation, refined over 1 million years, became a fatal vulnerability when rabbit populations crashed. The collapse began in 1952 when a French doctor released myxomatosis into wild rabbit populations to keep them out of his garden. This single act of pest control triggered a cascade of ecological destruction that nearly wiped out an entire cat species. The disease spread from France to Spain within years, killing 95% of the country's rabbits and launching the precipitous decline of the Iberian lynx. The Iberian lynx had thrived across the Iberian Peninsula for millennia. Fossils show the species has inhabited this region since the end of the Early Pleistocene, approximately 1 million years ago. During the early 19th century, thousands of lynx roamed Spain, Portugal, and southern France. By the 1940s, 15 distinct subpopulations existed across their range, but the mid-20th century brought catastrophe after catastrophe. First came myxomatosis in the 1950s, devastating the lynx's primary food source. Then, during Francisco Franco's dictatorship, lynx were legally hunted as vermin, with bounties paid for their elimination. Habitat destruction accelerated as agricultural expansion consumed ancient Mediterranean forests and scrublands. In 1988, another rabbit-killing disease arrived, viral hemorrhagic disease, which had first appeared in China 4 years earlier. This second pathogen finished what myxomatosis had started, obliterating rabbit populations across Spain. The Iberian lynx, already struggling, faced ecological starvation. The numbers tell a stark story of decline. From approximately 4,000 individuals in 1960, the population crashed through the following decades. Between 1960 and 1990, the species lost 80% of its range. By the early 1990s, only 2 isolated subpopulations remained, clinging to existence in the mountains of southern Spain. The crisis deepened through the 1990s. In 2001, WWF declared the Iberian lynx the world's most endangered cat species. The 2002 IUCN assessment was even more alarming. Only 94 individuals remained alive, earning the species a critically endangered listing on the Red List of threatened species. Extinction seemed inevitable, but conservationists refused to surrender. In 1999, scientists and wildlife managers gathered for a workshop that established the foundations for the Iberian lynx ex situ conservation plan. By 2001, a comprehensive captive breeding program launched, representing one of the most ambitious feline conservation efforts ever attempted. The program required revolutionary techniques. Previous attempts at captive breeding had failed catastrophically because lynx mothers consistently ate their newborn kittens. Scientists had to solve this behavioral puzzle before any progress was possible. They hand-raised 4 foundational animals: Esperanza in 2001, then Aura and Saliega in 2002, and finally Chromo in 2003. These animals were moved to El Achabuche, the first dedicated Iberian lynx breeding facility, located within Doñana National Park in Andalusia. The breakthrough came on March 28, 2005, at approximately 8 o'clock in the evening. Saliega, an Iberian lynx female from the Sierra Morena population, gave birth to the first successful litter born in captivity. This achievement represented a monumental step forward for species recovery. Saliega became the matriarch of hope. Over 8 years, she produced 16 cubs before being sterilized in 2013 due to a mammary tumor. Her genetic legacy flows through much of today's population. In March 2013, scientists achieved another milestone by collecting and preserving Iberian lynx embryos and eggs for the first time, using cryopreservation technology developed by Berlin's Leibniz Institute for Zoo and Wildlife Research. The breeding program expanded rapidly. La Olivia opened in 2007 in the Spanish province of Jaén. In 2009, Rodrigo Serra established a facility in Silves, Portugal, as part of the international effort. The fourth major center, Granadilla, opened in 2011 north of Cáceres in Extremadura. These 4 facilities became the cornerstones of recovery. Captive breeding was only half the equation. Starting in 2010, reintroduction efforts began with carefully planned releases of both captive-bred animals and wild-caught individuals from source populations. Scientists selected release sites meticulously, ensuring adequate rabbit populations, suitable habitat, and minimal human interference. The first reintroductions targeted Guadalmellato in 2009, followed by Guaritzas in 2010. Each release required extensive preparation, habitat restoration, rabbit population enhancement, and collaboration with local communities. Between 2011 and 2014, 403 captive-born animals were released into the wild. Meanwhile, scientists tackled the rabbit crisis through innovative solutions. They developed automated vaccination stations using machine learning algorithms to identify European rabbits and deliver vaccines via high-pressure jets. This technology helped protect rabbit populations from recurring disease outbreaks. The results exceeded all expectations. Population growth accelerated dramatically as released animals established territories, found mates, and produced offspring. By 2011, 132 adults lived in the wild. This number jumped to 400 by 2015, triggering the species' first downlisting from critically endangered to endangered. Geographic expansion accompanied population growth. Lynx populations established themselves across 17 different breeding areas. Habitat restoration increased available lynx territory from just 19 square miles in 2005 to at least 1,282 square miles by 2024. The species recolonized historical ranges and pioneered new territories. Other Mediterranean predators, like the Spanish imperial eagle, have also benefited from these habitat improvements, as the lynx's prey base recovery supports the broader ecosystem. The success continued accelerating. Population counts reached 856 in 2019, then 1,111 in 2020, and 1,688 in 2023. The 2024 census revealed the stunning milestone: 2,401 individuals, representing a 19% increase in a single year. Of these, 2,047 live in Spain across the regions of Castile-La Mancha, Andalusia, Extremadura, and Murcia, while 354 inhabit Portugal's Guadiana Valley Natural Park. On June 20, 2024, the IUCN officially downlisted the Iberian lynx from endangered to vulnerable, marking another historic conservation milestone. The species now enjoys CITES protection under international trade regulations. Francisco Javier Salcedo Ortiz, coordinator of the Life Lynx Connect project, called it the greatest recovery of a cat species ever achieved through conservation. The financial investment was substantial but worthwhile. Approximately 90 million euros was spent on conservation measures between 1994 and 2013, with the European Union contributing 61% of funding. The Life Iberlynx project alone had a budget exceeding 34 million euros, while Life Lynx Connect added another 18.7 million euros. However, significant challenges remain. Road deaths represent the greatest ongoing threat, accounting for 75.4% of the 214 lynx deaths recorded in 2024. Between February and October 2024, 41 lynx were killed on Spanish roads, including 3 during a 5-day period in September. WWF estimates that 6 million euros would be needed to implement comprehensive road safety measures. Genetic challenges also persist from the population bottleneck. Researchers discovered that individual genetic diversity correlates directly with sperm quality in males. While inbreeding negatively affects cub survival, The population exhibits inherited problems, including undescended testicles and juvenile epilepsy, affecting 7.4% of captive-born cubs between 2005 and 2012. The rabbit crisis continues threatening long-term recovery. Despite conservation efforts, European rabbit populations remain vulnerable to new disease outbreaks. Scientists estimate that achieving favorable conservation status will require 4,500 to 6,000 lynx individuals, including at least 1,100 breeding females. Despite these challenges, the Iberian lynx story demonstrates that even the world's most endangered species can recover through committed, science-based conservation action. From 94 desperate survivors to 2,401 thriving individuals represents more than population recovery. It represents hope for every threatened species facing extinction in our rapidly changing world. See you next time, and thanks for watching.